Karen claimed to be a choir director. Students sang off-key, and she was publicly mocked. What happens when a lie crescendos into chaos and shatters a community's harmony? The auditorium buzzed with anticipation. Rows of parents, dressed in their Sunday best, fanned themselves with programs, whispering excitedly about the spring choir concert at Willow Creek High. The stage gleamed under the spotlight, promising a night of soaring melodies. But the star of the show wasn't the students, it was Karen Whitaker, the self-proclaimed choir director, who strode onto the stage with a smug grin, her baton twirling like a scepter. She'd arrived in town 6 months ago, claiming credentials from a prestigious music conservatory, her resume glittering with promises of transforming the school's modest choir into a regional powerhouse. The principal, desperate to revive the arts program, hired her without a second thought. But tonight, the truth would unravel in a cacophony of off-key notes and public humiliation. Karen's reign began with charm. She swept into rehearsals with grand speeches about unlocking potential and sculpting raw talent. Students, like 16-year-old Mia, a shy soprano with dreams of Juilliard, hung on her every word. Karen promised private lessons, elite competitions, even college scouts. But her methods were brutal. She berated students for missed notes, called them tone-deaf amateurs, and once reduced Mia to tears for a shaky vibrato. "You'll never sing professionally," Karen sneered, tossing Mia's sheet music to the floor. Parents complained, but Karen dismissed them as meddling nobodies. The school board, dazzled by her supposed pedigree, ignored the red flags. Yet, whispers grew. No one could verify her credentials, and her rehearsals were more about her ego than the music. The first crack in Karen's facade came unexpectedly. At a rehearsal a week before the concert, a new student, Javier, transferred from a rival school. A quiet baritone with a knack for music theory, he noticed something odd. Karen couldn't read the complex choral arrangements she claimed to have composed. When he politely asked about a syncopated rhythm in the score, Karen snapped, "Just sing it how I tell you." Javier frowned, exchanging glances with Mia. Later, in a library, he dug into Karen's past. A quick search revealed no record of her at the conservatory she boasted about. Instead, he found a blog post from a small-town choir in Ohio, accusing a Karen W. of falsifying credentials and sabotaging their program. Javier shared his findings with Mia, who hesitated but agreed to confront Karen after the concert. The night of the performance arrived, and the auditorium was packed. Karen, in a garish red blazer, took the stage, basking in applause she hadn't earned. The choir filed in, nervous but hopeful, their faces a mix of determination and dread. The first piece, a Bach chorale, began promisingly. But as the tempo increased, Karen's conducting grew erratic. Her baton flailed, missing cues, throwing the singers off. Sopranos clashed with altos. Tenors wobbled painfully off-key. The audience shifted uncomfortably as the discord grew. Mia, her voice trembling, tried to hold the melody, but Karen's wild gestures drowned her out. By the second song, a pop medley meant to showcase the choir's versatility, the performance collapsed. Notes clattered like falling dishes, and Karen's face reddened, her arms waving like a frantic marionette. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Mid-song, a man in the back row stood a wiry, gray-haired figure with a stern expression. It was Mr. Ellis, the retired choir director who'd led Willow Creek's program a decade ago. He'd heard rumors of Karen's incompetence and slipped into the concert unannounced. "Enough!" he bellowed, his voice cutting through the noise. The music screeched to a halt. Parents gasped, students froze. Karen, flustered, barked, "Who do you think you are?" Ellis stepped forward, holding a folder. "I'm the man who taught half these kids to sing before you ruined them," he said. He opened the folder, revealing emails from the Ohio choir confirming Karen's fraud. "You're no director. You're a fraud who can't even read a score." The auditorium erupted. Parents shouted, demanding answers. Students, emboldened, began airing grievances. Mia, her voice shaking but clear, recounted Karen's cruelty. Javier stepped forward, holding up his phone with screenshots of the Ohio blog post. Karen's composure cracked. She screamed, "This is sabotage," and flung her baton at the podium, knocking over a music stand. Sheet music fluttered to the floor like fallen leaves. The crowd booed, their anger a tidal wave. Karen's lies, built on arrogance, had orchestrated her own downfall. A mother in the front row yelled, "You've humiliated our kids." Another parent filmed the chaos, the video later going viral on X with hashtags like Karen Choir Fail. As security escorted Karen offstage, her protest drowned in the crowd's jeers. The students, shaken but defiant, huddled with Mr. Ellis. He took the podium, calming the room with a raised hand. "These kids deserve better," he said. "Let's give them a chance." With no preparation, he led the choir in a simple a cappella piece they'd learned years ago under his guidance. Mia's soprano soared. Javier's baritone anchored the harmony, and the others followed, their voices raw but united. The audience, tears in their eyes, rose for a standing ovation not for perfection, but for resilience. Karen, watching from the wings, was a shadow of her former bravado, her lies exposed under the unforgiving spotlight. In the days that followed, the school board fired Karen and launched an investigation. The viral video sparked debates on X about accountability and trust in education. Javier and Mia started a petition for Mr. Ellis to return as interim director, which gained hundreds of signatures. The choir rebuilt, slowly, under his steady hand, performing a regional competition months later with a renewed spirit. Karen vanished from town, her name a cautionary tale whispered in faculty lounges. The story of Willow Creek's choir is a reminder. Truth finds a way to sing, no matter how loud the lies. What do you think? How should communities confront those who deceive for power? Share your thoughts.